welcome to the Young Indian Professionals of New England talk show series with the professionals, where we highlight highly accomplished individual success stories and have our viewers get inspired and motivated to excel in their own professional journeys. Today, we are so honored to have Mr. Gopi Nair, a co-founder of Wow Tikka in the Fenway area in the Boston community, and a restaurant consultant. He is a food entrepreneur on a mission to bring Indian cuisine and flavors to the mainstream with a flair for team building, training, marketing, development, operations, and branding. He has done his education at the Institute of Hotel and Catering Management in India. Previously, he was a manager at the Taj Hotels in India and has been in many managerial roles in the restaurant industry in the US. He was also a founder of the restaurant TIkkiway, and now he has created a new trendy fast casual restaurant named Wow Tikka. Well, let's welcome Mr. Gopi Nair to our show today.
Thank you so much, Niharika, for having me. It's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to be speaking with with yourself and many young professionals like yourself.
We are so
I hope
honored to have you today.
Thank you. I hope I add value to your life and your time.
Oh, thank you. So, first of all, please share your professional success story and let our young professionals know how you got to where you are today.
Hmm. Um, Honestly, I would say that I have been very blessed. Because my parents, after my high school, allowed me to follow my dreams. They actually allowed me to choose the career of my choice, and I chose hospitality management. I went to culinary school, unlike any of my classmates. Um, I did pretty well there, and I was selected by the Taj Group of Hotels, the premium hospitality chain in India and overseas. Um, I spent a few years in with the Taj, and I moved to North Carolina for my master's from MBA. And again, I was fortunate enough that within a couple of years, I found my calling and my passion, and I started working with a couple of my friends and opened Indian fine dining restaurants. I operated Indian fine dining restaurants in the Connecticut area. Few years down, I realized there's a huge gap um, for the demand of high quality, approachable quality, value Indian food. And I realized that Indian food has been in the suburbs in America for too long. And so here I am on my journey to bring Indian food to the main street and be in a position where a John Doe does not need a brown guy to kind of decide and tell what to have
Yeah,
and
no,
enjoy and enjoy the amazing cuisine that we are proud of over thousands of years.
yeah, I know it's totally appreciative that you're doing something that will honor the Indian community and bringing the Indian culture, such as food, to American culture today and making such innovative things. So that is amazing, and that will definitely inspire many of the youth today in terms of people that want to be in the food industry. So, what inspired you to associate yourself in the hospitality industry?
So I would attribute this to the habit of reading. Again, I was very fortunate that I got into the habit of reading just as I passed my 10th grade in the high school, and I would read random stuff. Of course, there was no internet then, mind you. So I stumbled upon Myers-Briggs personality trait questionnaire in the library, and that pointed towards my strengths being in service. To sum up the four-factor personality trait that they come up with,
Yes,
and
yes.
again, very early in my years, my life, I realized that my passion would be in the service industry, and I chose and picked the hospitality. Um, and I'm glad because the whole theory of regret minimization, right, which we have heard from Jeff Bezos.
Mhm.
I would find myself doing this no matter what, how old I am. I would always be serving, nourishing people's life, associated with food. So yeah, just being fortunate and blessed.
Yeah, that is so important to do what you're doing and to follow the path that if you're passionate about something, that's what you should follow. And that's really inspiring. And that will definitely bring you to a greater lengths. So a few months back, you just opened up a new restaurant called Wow Tikka in the Fenway, Boston area. How did you come up with such an innovative idea to open a fast casual restaurant with many healthy options, and what is your vision behind it?
Yes, we did open our first Wow Tikka in the Fenway area in December last year. Just, I guess this is just 3 months old now. Literally just three
Oh,
months. Yeah, pretty young. In terms of if well, I'll put it this way: if you would ask 9 out of 9 or and with 10 young Indians aged
yeah.
between 20 and 40, I would say that close to 9 of them would say that this is their idea, and they have thought of something like this.
Yeah, no, for sure. We were thinking about this like during college. We were like, what if there's an Indian Chipotle? That would be so much fun. Like you can just see everything you just see everything in the right in front of you and they make it right in front of you. And I was like, Indians don't have that. So I'm very happy that you brought this into life and you brought this to a college central city where all the college students could just come and fast get their food and in a fun and innovative way.
There you go. Totally. I just happened to I got lucky with the great partners and just did it, executed the idea. And so it is everybody's dream. It's just not just my idea. It is everybody's. Like you say, every they sees concept. They sees
Yeah.
to open a restaurant like this. What we did was to bring the old and add some new to it. There has been no innovation with Indian cuisine, Indian restaurants over the last 2, 3 decades, with the same old chicken tikka masala, saag paneer, garlic naan story, right?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
what we're doing is bringing everything that's in the books, keeping the authenticity in, and just bringing a different flair of serving it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know you said you mentioned to me in the past that you're creating this as an SOP, which is so important. And I love how there's an order and you're making this very trendy. I know that in the menu you always have like the Indian version of fries, and I was like, that's such an innovative idea. And the paneer kati rolls, and I was like, I my like inner childhood self was like so excited. I was like, oh my God, I want to order everything in the menu. So I love how you're making this in a very fun way.
I know. Thank you. It is awesome. Actually, I like to say this that everything on the menu is something that is selfishly made for me to have every day. So
That's the most important
and
thing
every
to have.
totally right, every day being the key word. So yeah, I eat this food 6 times a week.
Wow.
Um, yeah, so I'm again, you see, the perks of having stuff like this that you make for yourself, you solve one man's problem, and you scale it for thousands and millions.
Oh yeah, for sure. This is like a business idea that you're finding what is needed and now you're serving the wants of people. So if that's what you need, then and that's what you want, then you're catering to solve the problem, which is an amazing thing to do in times like today. And I'm so happy that this idea is now in the Boston area. I wish you guys open when I was in college, but I'm
Wow.
pretty sure like I will come there and I'm gonna encourage all our viewers today to go visit Wautica because it's the most amazing idea and it is the best innovative idea. Like people say that we need Indian Chipotle and it literally is. So I'm excited. It has Indian tacos and that makes my heart happy because
Oh, thank
I do love tacos in a way, but Indian style that just makes me even more happier.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So what motivates you to achieve better, incredible things in your professional life?
What motivates me, huh? I would say, oh, there's so many. But if I would put into buckets, there are two big buckets that I have that kind of, in terms of my personal motivation. Um, One would be my father. He's no more. He passed a few years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Um, Everything that I do, everything that I want to do, and everything I do, I always and always, with my professional career, uh, have to make sure that I'm doing right by him, and I'm proving it that he made a right decision by letting me choose my career path. So because this is my choice.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, the earlier the way was, in my high school, that of course I would be an engineer, and my older sister would have should have been the doctor,
That's such
and
a
my
basic logic. Like every kid has to either be a doctor, engineer, or lawyer. Like none of the above can you
nothing
cannot
else, right?
you can't do anything other than that.
Was yeah. So I grew up in a hardcore that was a hardcore concept. There's no way around it. You have to do. But so my dad allowed me to do it, which I'm so blessed and thankful for.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing, I question and I have to answer to him that dad, um, I get your validation. So that's one of the motivators. But the other one, which is more recent, is I would say my friends. During the course of the last few years of my entrepreneur journey and business, I have been again very fortunate that I made lots of friends. Amazing people came to my life. Amazing, helps and supports and relationships been built. But I would be lying if I didn't, or if I would be actually hypocrite if I don't mention the other part that I actually did lose a lot of friends too. Um, uh, I guess comes to the territory, but I took it too hard, and I take it very personally. I've lost a lot of my good friends who I I always thought were friends for life, and I
No,
still
yeah,
do.
for
I
sure.
still have them in my heart, and I still
Yeah.
think of them daily. When I wake up and I'm driving to work, I do think of them, and I have to. I owe it to them that I do well. I owe it to them the relationship that was and that got severed, that this has to reach new heights, and that's the only way
Yeah.
I'll be able to um, be at peace.
No, yeah, for sure. Like I've also noticed this, like once people it's very lonely at the top. Like barely any successful people have any genuine friends because they want to use you once you reach further lengths in your life. And to me, that's such a bad thing that they're doing, but it's okay. They're the ones who are motivating us to reach further lengths. So I definitely that's a very apparent issue, especially in the youth culture today, in colleges and like the younger generations. People do get jealous, and that's such um a topic that needs to be addressed. There's no reason to be jealous. You should all learn from each other. But people need to understand that with hard work comes people that will be your enemies. So yeah, it definitely makes sense that these people are your motivators and these people inspire you to reach greater lengths in your life. So I do like the message that you're sending to the young professionals.
Yes, relationships are important. Friends are worth much more than we ever think they are.
For sure. So during in your career, what has been the most memorable moment so far and why?
Oh gosh, there's so many. Um, but the one that I'm very, 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 very proud of, and actually which is most memorable, is my meeting with Fred DeLuca. Fred
Oh,
DeLuca um, is the founder owner of the Subway Group, the
yes.
Subway restaurants, which at its peak had over 52,000 restaurants globally.
Wow.
52. He started this with one of his mentors and friends, Dr. Peter Buck, Doctors Associates, as they called it, and I mean, he was a visionary, right? So,
Yeah.
in my earlier years of this fast casual concept in Connecticut, he came in 3 days in a row to check it out, check the food, check the customer service and everything. On the third day, he came up to me and introduced himself. He's a tall guy, and I was uh, I still get goosebumps even thinking about it. And he wanted to buy this company or forge a partnership uh, with TIkkiway and Subway. I mean, my early concept. Um, so we ended up speaking for a few months. The term sheets were passed. Ultimately, I chose not to. There were personal reasons. Honestly, I just got insecure. I thought that, oh, I would not be able to deal with this. It's too big. The company might just swallow the small company, and that kind of fears, right? The the insecurity, if you will. I wish
Yeah.
I did not have that then. But yeah, that's something that I would take it to grave.
Wow, no, that's impressive that you were able to have to talk, you were able to talk to him. He does have a good leadership, and so do you. So it's good to have people that are going to be your mentors and you can learn from them. So on that note, what qualities do you think professionals should have to succeed and eventually become leaders?
Hmm. Well, there be many, but definitely I would say perseverance and humility. Perseverance because there would be challenges all along. There would be ups and downs. There'll be stuff that you would know that's coming your way and stuff that comes and hits you from nowhere. So your will to continue, your strength to stand up, even if you're beaten to your knees, get up, shake the dust off, cry if you have to, yell if you have to, find a shoulder if you have to, get a drink if you have to, whatever it takes.
Mhm.
But persevere. If you really believe in your idea, in your concept, and your path forward, and definitely the humility, because that's what we kind of lose as we stride higher,
Yes,
grounded, to not forget where we came from and not forget
exactly.
that around you also maybe as good or better than you. So that too for sure.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, for sure. People should not forget where they came from and they shouldn't forget their values that took them to where they are today. For example, like their life at home, their home values, the values that their parents have taught them. They should never forget that. So that is very important to have and definitely very important to acknowledge that.
yes.
So I know you said your father inspired you to reach where you are today, but also who inspires you to the most to who what currently you've been dealing with? Who inspires you the most?
Oh God, that's a big list. But someone who has lasted the test of time with me personally is Walt Disney. Amazing guy,
Yeah, no,
amazing
for sure.
personality. Goodness, you read about him, you go to the Disney worlds, you cannot sleep. If I mean, you would not even you can't even put your arms around the idea that this guy um had gone through all the stuff that he went through, never let go of his dream, and has a vision that lasts so many years after him.
Yeah,
And I can tell, as long as there's a parent and a child in the world, his dream would continue to be on. And the number of people he has brought smiles to in the face, like millions and millions of people smile and are happy just being a part of his dream. How
exactly.
how powerful is that?
Yeah, no, everyone in Disney World says it's the happiest place on planet Earth, and that's such an important thing to have because happiness is the number one key to success. And the fact that he's creating that for young kids and also adults is such a magical thing to have.
True.
No, yeah, for sure. So in terms of happiness and everything else, young professionals face multiple challenges and stress in present times. Sometimes it even impacts their mental health. How do you overcome such situations? And is there any coping mechanisms that you use when dealing with stress times?
God, this is a big one. Um, honestly, it's very important, and I'm so glad that you brought it up. The whole mental health situation, issues, and the challenges that that the youngsters go through. I mean, everyone goes through, but with time, it's getting worse. You would think otherwise, right? But it gets worse. Um, it is very important to address that. I luckily again, I was fortunate that uh, I found I meditate. Um, there are many ways, many styles of meditation,
Yeah.
and every so often, I know, I like to try different one. There are different school of thoughts, different school of meditations, if you will. The last couple of years, I've been following Jose Silva's
Mhm.
meditation style. That's pretty practical. Um, but in terms of what I would advise the youngsters is to be honest yourself. Do
Exactly.
not be in denial, because life does hit you hard, and it's okay because it hits everybody. And it's not to be ashamed of. It's not something to be embarrassed that that you fell, um, and you're hurt. to really have someone to talk. You can have a lot of people, a lot of friends online, but make sure that you have at least one honest offline relationship as well.
Yes, for
Someone who
sure.
doesn't judge. Someone who doesn't judge you. Someone where you don't feel that like I have to be this person in front of this person. It could be a mother, it could be a father, or it could be your best friend. It could be somebody. But make
Exactly.
sure that right, you need to make sure that you have at least one such person offline because that's extremely, extremely important.
Very important to have, and especially in times like today as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
um, I know you said about failure and everything. Is it okay to fail? What advice will you give to young professionals to overcome or reduce the chances of failure?
I would say must fail. You should fail and fail fast, fail soon, fail big. Go and fail. I mean, do not fear the fact, or don't let failure not be a word that you'd want to to avoid. Um, because that's the only time you learn.
Mhm.
And I was not I did not have this thought process for the for a long time in my life. For me, I thought, okay, working hard, I success. I mean, I succeed and get the trophies, get certificates, get the prize, get the rank, get the positions, and that's learning.
Mhm.
But only when you start, only when you fail, you realize that, like what Mike Tyson said, that everyone can have a plan until they punch it on the face, right?
Mhm.
So you should fail. I would not recommend anyone trying to avoid failures. I would say
Sure.
go fail now, fail big, take chances, go follow your dream. But when you fall, make sure that your eyes are open.
Mhm.
Don't close your eyes when you're falling or failing. Keep your eyes open so that you learn.
True.
And that's where the success is. That's where the learning is. That's where the growth is.
True. No, that's for sure a great advice for the young professionals. So, if you could turn back the time clock and talk to your 18-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
A lot. How much time do we have? All right. Let me sum it up. Two things for sure. One is have a lot more fun. Um, don't take life so seriously.
True.
Really, I mean, you should have goals and you should have aspirations and dreams and success and all that stuff, but have fun. Number one. And number
True.
two is something that I just alluded to. Take risks. I was not the risk-taking guy. I mean, I did take different choices, but to me, that was not risk. I was still playing safe. I was still playing, all right, I'll mitigate the risk of failing in here by doing this. I did not take the big risks. So taking risk and having more fun.
True. It's been important to have the work-life balance, like work hard, but also have fun in your life because everyone needs fun in their life.
True.
So, I have a little fun question for you. If you have a, if you could have dinner with any three people, dead or alive, who would they be and why?
How many people can I choose?
Just three.
Just three. Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, that's no fun. Oh no, that's fun. One one would be my father because, um, as I said, he passed a few years ago, and he was a man of few words, so he didn't speak much. Um, um, so if I would say that we haven't spoken in like haven't we haven't had long conversations for over a decade, and
Oh,
I love that. I long for that. I would want to sit with him and have long conversations over dinner. So that'll be one. Number two would be Walt Disney for sure. I
for sure.
definitely would want to pick his brain. I definitely want to dive deep. I just want to, sit with him and maybe share it. I mean, of course, over a meal. Get him to loosen up and tell me everything. Tell me
Yeah,
everything.
in a
Right?
truly
That's
magical way.
absolutely, yeah, really. And I just want to just absorb everything he says and everything that comes, every word that comes out of him. And the third person would be Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose.
Oh, wow.
I I'm very fascinated by that. I mean, growing up, of course, we all learn, him and every other freedom fighters from our Indian independence movement. But I don't think I learned much about him as much as I'd learned in the last 15, 20 years.
Mhm.
And the more I read and the more I study, the more I learn about him, that man just amazes me.
Yeah, no,
Brilliant,
for sure.
brilliant strategist, intellectual to the core, a hard worker, I mean, an action guy, an execution guy, an administrator, a strategist.
Yeah,
Oof. Um, how can one person be all that? Someone who had such big vision, daring, bold. You couldn't get him. He couldn't catch him, right? And he would just go from continents to continents and cross oceans, and he did so much. I can go on and on. But yeah, those three people: my father, Disney, and Subhash Chandra Bose.
that would be such a fun dinner to attend. I would want to attend that dinner as well.
Swear.
Um, so in terms of dinner, what do you look forward to professionally in the future? Is there any other cool restaurant ideas you have in mind or want to venture out to?
Honestly, I do. I have a couple awesome ideas, but I think at this time I'll focus um, on scaling up this idea. The Wow Tikka needs to be in more places. More
True.
people know, more people have to be introduced to Indian cuisine, the flavors, the authenticity, the fun, the healthy part, the nourishing, the balanced food, and all the stuff. There's so much that Wow Tikka can do and should do and will do that I want to focus on this for the near future. And
I think
then,
that's I think that's such a great idea. Everyone will be wowed by this idea for sure.
yeah, thanks.
No, for sure. That's such a great idea to have. So many young professionals are currently looking for jobs or planning to start a new business. What advice would you like to give them, specifically focusing on the hospitality industry?
Hmm. Um, I guess technology is the way to go, is the way forward, right? So every industry is being heavily influenced by technology.
True.
Now, let's not even start talking about AI and artificial intelligence, right? So I'm sure that'll make huge strides in hospitality and food and restaurant industry as well. Um, but the ones who are uh, thinking of or dreaming of or planning to do get into hospitality industry, I would say do not. I mean, as much as technology you should embrace, how much of you must adapt new technologies, but do not compromise on the fundamentals of hospitality, the people, the emotion, the real the human touch.
True.
Have a balance between both these, and I guess there's no looking back, and it's going to be amazing time ahead with all the technological advances and the innovations that's coming along.
True, yeah, no, social media plays a big role because, like, in just a touch of a button, you can go into different audiences and wider audiences. You can post about your restaurants, and thousands of people will be able to see your innovative idea. So the power
Mhm.
of TikTok also, like, showcasing your food, or showcasing other people's food in restaurants in just a simple 60-second video is super powerful because will share it to other people and says, "Oh my God, we want to see this restaurant. Oh my God, let's go here." Like I know in my friend group chats, we send each other like videos of food places and we're like, we want to go here next. So I think the power of social media is such a powerful tool to have in times like today. So I think technology plays a key role in this.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, what personal trait do you look for in a candidate while interviewing him or her for a job position in the restaurant organization?
Hmm. Mm, apart from the competence, the personal traits would be honesty and humility,
Mhm.
because this industry definitely it's all about people, um, for the people, by the people, kind of stuff.
Mhm.
So the person has to be honest because mistakes will be made. Um, the character and the personality trait to kind of own it, um, and the humility to serve. That
True. I think it's so important for in times like today for people to be honest, and if they make a mistake, then definitely speak about it because, like, for example, during COVID times, the government was not being transparent to us. We were all confused on what to do, and people were spreading rumors, and it was such dishonesty. And this all thing could be solved if it was just honest communication. So I think that's very important to have in the restaurant business and as well as in general corporate world as well. So you do bring up a really good point. And last but not least, what advice would you like to give the young Indian professionals in the New England area?
Hmm. This is the advice that I give to myself all the time, and I have it on my screensaver as well. There is a there's a Sanskrit shloka.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll explain, but this is very powerful, and I learned it when I was in school. It says, "Udyame nahi siddhanti karyani na manorathai nahi suptasya singhasya pravishanti mukhe mrigaha." What it means is that just by thinking of something or by dreaming it, it will not come to fruition. Things won't happen just by dreaming it or thinking about it.
Mhm.
You got to work hard. And the example that this shloka gives is of a lion. Lion is the king of the jungle, can have any animal for its prey. But no prey, no animal comes to him when he's sleeping and says, "Sir, lunch is served," right? They
Yeah,
don't just come to him and say, "Eat me." The lion has to get up, shrug off the laziness, and run and outrun and outchase the prey for his lunch. So you got
true.
to work hard. So and that's my core lesson, teaching to myself and advice to myself, that I just by merely thinking about it or dreaming it, things won't come to me or anyone. You got to work hard, persevere, and consistently keep trying.
I think those are some beautiful words and will inspire the young and Indian professionals of the New England area today. So thank you so much for taking the time to speaking with us. We just want to let our viewers know that Wow Tikka will be having their food in our April 12th event. So feel free to come try it out. And of course, if you ever want to go to Wow Tikka, it's located in the Fenway area. I highly recommend it. I was personally wowed and they had such cool, fun, innovative ideas. So I highly recommend everyone to try it out. It is located in the Fenway area. So it's very accessible if people are walking in the Boston area. So thank you so much, Mr. Gopi Nair, for being with us and to bringing such a cool idea in the Boston area.
Niharika, thank you so much. This has been an awesome experience, and I hope and pray that there's value, and I did help and add value to your viewers. But for me personally, I gained a lot. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.